Okay. Um, I gotta get my blanket up here. For those of you guys who follow me on social media, you guys know that I got my booster shot with my vaccine earlier this week, just a couple of days ago, actually. It was part of a requirement that I needed for a job that I really want. And so I had to finish my booster. I was supposed to get it months ago and didn't, only because the vaccine was, I had a really bad experience with vaccine. Um, like a really bad experience. This is not to say that, no matter who you are or whatever, that you're going to have a bad experience with the vaccine, but like my experience was very rough. And I went and got the booster, and I had a really bad reaction with the booster. Um, I've been so sick for days since getting the booster. Um, just like in the bed, super sick. I finally was able to get some like really good sleep because I went ahead and went to work today. A matter of fact, I've worked since I've been feeling bad. But today I worked my entire shift. Um, and when I got home, I was finally able to eat, keep the food down, and sleep. So I went to bed at like 4:30, and I woke up about an hour ago, and I feel like 90% better. So, um, yeah, this week has been really rough, and my arm is still so sore from the booster. And I know somebody's going to ask, in my area, my doctor's office was giving the Pfizer vaccine. So when it comes to the booster that I received, it was with Pfizer. So just in case anybody's curious, um, that's what I had, and that's I still get these cold chills. That's the booster I had, but so many of you guys on Twitter have been, hi Marina, have been really wanting to know my thoughts on this fucking live action train wreck that is the Johnny Depp Amber Heard defamation, $50 million defamation trial. Guys, this is a full motion circus. Like, and the fact that there's still people on Twitter like standing with Amber, um, or hashtag today I heard Amber, because her name's Amber Heard, whatever. It's like, bro, have you watched the trial? Because every single day there's live footage of the trial, every single day. And the things that she was saying that he was doing, a lot of those things, there has been proof in court that she did. Guys, this bitch shat a burrito-sized turd in a bed. Like, for real. For real. Honestly, yeah, I have not missed a day of the trial. And honestly, you guys already know that I'm going to do like a full in-depth like video on the trial. But I think it goes without saying that just because someone says this happened to me, I mean, everybody should have known when she told the hospital, like, hey, I'm going to give you X amount of $1 million. It's not even about the money. I'm going to give you the money. And then Johnny Depp finds out that this hospital, or no, the hospital wrote and was like, hey, like, you said you was going to give us this money, but never gave me the money. And Johnny Depp gets this letter. He then gives that hospital that money. Anyways, like, this just goes to show like how dangerous some women and men are who take advantage of the Me Too movement. And I think what's also important to remember is that Amber and Johnny, when she made these original claims, it was when the Me Too movement was at its top. A lot of people don't know that. But if you do your research, when she originally came out and made these claims in the Vanity Fair article, it was during the Me Too movement, like at the peak of the Me Too movement, when, you were basically looked at as scum trash if you did not believe every single person who came out and said, "This happened to me." Whether it be sexual assault or physical abuse, regardless, it didn't matter. If you came out and made a claim, everybody was behind you 100%. And when that Vanity Fair article came out, I was looking up some of the articles and Reddit posts and tweets that came out when that original claim came out. People were sending Johnny Depp over 14,000 death threats a minute on the first day that she made these claims, that the article came out. I don't know if anybody knows that, but during my research, I found that he was getting 14,000 death threats a minute on the day that the Vanity Fair article dropped. That's super scary. And I think this just goes to show that until the court of public opinion is this newfound, thing that has been taken to a whole new extreme. And I'm sorry, but it's by Generation Z. I'm so sorry. I know that they're going to be, I don't have very many Generation Z subscribers, which is completely fine with me. I would much rather have my millennials, which is my number one followed base is millennials, and Generation X. Those are my two. But Generation Z has brought so many things to like a whole new level, to something that, you know, where becomes dangerous because it's obvious that this woman was extorting Johnny Depp for money. That's obviously what her plan was. I don't think that she knew. There's no way she could have known that Johnny Depp kept the amount of receipts that he kept. There's literally, but I don't know, because there does seem to be some kind of mental disorder or some, I don't know if they're going to have like, a lot of times when it comes to murder trials, they will have, psychiatric reviews done on the defendant. I don't know if that's going to be the same situation in a defamation trial. I think it would be very interesting because just like the fact that she was like, "Oh yeah, and I'm so good at makeup." Like, bitch. If you Google any day, please Google any day of this bitch's makeup. She claims, "I'm so good at makeup, I became a pro at makeup." She literally says this. This is a quote. "And I knew how to cover everything up flawlessly." Bitch, then why does your makeup look like you used Play-Doh? Straight up looks like she's been in like, a clay workshop and just fucking slapped that shit on. Like, everything that comes out of her mouth at this point, I feel like is a goddamn lie. The only truth that she has told is that she was with Johnny Depp at some point. Turn over her phone records. Exactly. That's what I was just about to get to. Her phone records. All of the proof is in the pudding. Okay. Let's just go ahead and keep that there. But if I was in this situation, okay, if I had truly been beaten by a man, and, number one, I've been there, and I find it from the beginning, I found it very, very odd that she came out with a Vanity Fair article. I found that so weird because typically when you've actually been through some type of physical abuse, you don't write a Vanity Fair article. That's so weird that she did that. Exactly. Exactly. There is no proof. And that's what that's my belief, is that there is no proof that he ever broke her nose there, because it didn't exist. Because if you had the proof that he broke your nose on your phone, you would hand that over. Unless either A, you don't have the proof that he ever broke your nose, or B, there's other proof on your phone that's going to make it even worse. There's things that haven't even came out yet that is going to be a lot worse for her. Those are the only two reasons why, if you had that kind of proof, you wouldn't bring it forward. Is either you don't have it at all, or you have it, but there's other things that are on your device that are going to make you look a lot worse. And I don't think that she would keep proof of her being the perpetrator. So I don't think she has the proof. I honestly don't. Furthermore, the whole interview with, what was her freaking name? She was the blonde girl that went on stand for Johnny. All of the memes and TikToks that have been created from her freaking testimony, her being like, why are we still talking about muffins? Like, I don't know. Were you there? Bitch. That whole testimony, I laughed so goddamn hard. I'm not going to lie. There's been parts of it that my cringe-o-meter goes over top, and I'm just like, fuck, this is a lot of fucking cringe. And I love Johnny Depp. I love that he's standing up for himself, but he takes a minute to tell a story. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been watching, like, when I'm watching the videos on YouTube, I'm watching them at like 2 times speed. Like, he takes a minute to tell a goddamn story. But I think that he is so, and a lot of people have tweeted about this, like, the fact that he takes so long to tell a story, his ADHD, which I believe has a factor in it. I don't know that for sure, but I think that when you go so long not being able to tell your truth, like nobody's listening to your truth, and you finally get to go to court and tell your truth on stand for everybody, I think that that's why the tangents get started, and there's just so much that he wants to say. He just says it all. But as far as like character weaknesses, like we've seen from his sister, like very early on, his security guard very early on, we've heard from friends. And listen, before anybody goes on the cocaine tangent, listen, you guys, are you really shocked that a millionaire, almost billionaire actor slash director has done cocaine? Are we really going to, spoiler alert, I would say 87% of your favorite actors and actresses, and I would say 94% of your favorite influencers have indulged in cocaine. If the number is not higher, okay? They're millionaires. Just, like, that is not what we're here for, which I believe, like, that is that's what the defense attorney is focusing on a lot, is the drug use, because they're like, well, we're definitely not going to win this defamation case. Like, it's clear there's so much proof that she perpetrated him. So let's just ask every witnesses multiple times to the point to where the, they're objecting so much, like you're just repeating yourself, like reframe the question, like so many. I would literally love to know the objection count on this case when it comes to the defense, because they're literally just repeating themselves over and over and over and over. This case is also different because they have a lot of understudies on the defense and the prosecution. There's so many understudies that are, questioning vice versa. And a lot of people are getting confused with, like, well, who is that? That's not the main attorney from, day one. Who's that? If you go to the actual court case and you look at the documents, they have how many people are going to be trying through the case. However, it is still hard to keep up with who they are because a lot of times they don't even mention their name. Exactly. And not only that, Marina, but there have already been several witnesses, including someone who's worked with him, a wife of someone who worked with him, his security guard, an ex, his sister, that when he has indulged in cocaine, it's also been said that through this case that Amber was very much into, like, acid. She loved a good acid trip. She loved a good bit of mushrooms, if you will, which are 1,000% moods. They change your mood. That's what the whole thing of acid is. Like, you are on a trip. Cocaine is not a trip. If anything, you're going to clean your ass off on some cocaine, and some people, and it does vice versa. Either you are ready to go or you're like chilling like you've smoked weed. That is, and I know I've done cocaine. So forever there, this has been another big thing of people asking me on Twitter, like, does cocaine make you feel that way? Like, does it make you angry? I've never met anyone who gets angry on cocaine. I will say that. I've never met anyone who got like super aggressive on it. However, different story, especially for acid. So, this girl that I used to be really good friends with back when I did things like this, her boyfriend loved acid. I've only done acid twice, and the first time, I don't even think there was any acid in it. The second time, I haven't told you guys the story yet, but it was a night, to say the least. And on this night, her boyfriend had done acid with us, and it was one of the worst nights of my life. Like, that was the first time I ever seen a man like beat on a woman before, like in front of me. It was terrifying, to say the least. And I literally took an iron skillet and Medea'd his ass, like went up behind him and bashed him upside the head with an iron skillet. Um, yeah, on acid, like, it was crazy. So I have known of people to their mood, it's almost like a switch. So either you're just like tripping and, like, you're seeing like trees grows arm type shit, like trees start talking to you type shit, or you go on this very aggressive, like, weird spiral of a trip. Um, so I can say that for those of you guys asking, this does not specifically mean that every time Amber did acid, she was super aggressive to Johnny. However, from what we've heard from his testimony, it sounds like she did. Now, I've never known of anyone getting like upset or angry or aggressive on shrooms. However, one thing that I believe is imperative is it has she went under um, a psycho evaluation, and has there been a mental evaluation, and what are the results of that? Because that would have a very big indicator of what, you know, mental stimulant type drugs, hallucinatives, are going to have on someone who may have some type of mental disorder. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that that would be an important factor. I don't know if that is going to come in this case. I don't know if that's gonna be part of it. I do know that Johnny Depp has been open about ADHD, which is very, very characteristic in actors. That's how they're able to play so many different, characters at one time, and they're able to just switch their personality at the drop of a hat. A lot of actors and actresses have come forward with, "Yes, I have ADHD," and that's how they're able to, like, keep up with who their character and etcetera. So, I don't know. I feel like, every day it's like I literally feel like every time I turn on the goddamn news, it's Amber Heard and Johnny Depp and like, for real. It's the biggest circus I've ever seen. It's the biggest waste of not only, like, time, just general time, but, like, what was her hope in this? There's no way that she straight up knew that he didn't have the receipts that he had. I just can't believe that. There's just no way. Then you have, and probably I would say this is my second favorite testimony that we had. It was the virtual testimony of Amber Heard's ex assistant, who is British. If you have not seen this testimony, bitch, I urge you to watch, because it was just literally, I mean, it was still very no 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 no. It was still very much circus, but it was giving at the same time. It was a gift from the legal gods. They were like asking her, like, did you make X amount of dollars per hour? She was like, I wish. And then they're like asking her stuff, and she was like, I don't know. That was 10 years ago. Well, when's the last time you talked to Johnny? I don't know. Like, straight up. And then they're like, well, how was working for Amber? Absolutely terrible. It was atrocious. It was the worst years of my life. And, they're like, explain your job. And she's like, we don't have time. I don't have time to go into the ins and outs with you. Like, it's just so fucking funny, like, watching some of the people who testify in this case. Like, they're just so, it's literally like free tickets to the circus. For real. For real, for real. But with all jokes aside, I do think that this should be a eye opener for a lot of people who think, just because a woman comes forward and makes claims that a man did this, this, and this to her, or even if a man comes forward and says a woman did this, this, and this to me, I do think that before we start pointing fingers and, being this court of public opinion bullshit, I think we should wait until it goes to court and there's proof in the pudding, not he said, she said, before we start pointing fingers and, ruining people's whole lives. That's another thing. Like, some of these women who make these claims and it comes out to be incorrect, like, you've ruined this person's whole goddamn life. Like, you've ruined their life, especially when it's on such a public scale. Like, we've seen this happen so many times with, like, football players, and a lot of times they're like college football players, like, that are so talented, and they would have so many opportunities with, like, the NFL, and they'll never get to experience that because a girl made a false claim and it took years for their name to be cleared. Like, it's ruining people's lives. Like, I could not imagine making a false claim like that against someone. And I don't know what Amber really wanted out of, I don't know if it was just she wanted people to feel sorry for her, or maybe she told like a couple of people, and so it started to spread like wildfire, and she just, I don't know. Because at this point, we can pretty well say that she's a compulsive liar. I mean, that just kind of goes with that. This bitch shit in a bed, okay? Like, come on. Have you ever purposely took a big old shit in the bed and just full on, like, full burrito turded in the bed? I know I haven't. Like, straight up, I ain't. Not on purpose. I've had diarrhea before and it explode. I also was hungover one time in an IHOP and shit myself. Um, but I have never in my life, like, purposely took a deuce anywhere but in a commode. Okay? Also, you also have to think about, like, where Johnny must have been taken mentally to have been in this altercation with this woman. You know, he's trying to get some space. He's been sober for months and months. So he goes downstairs and he gets driven to the point to relapse and drink. He gets vodka, pours himself a shot. Then she comes downstairs, gets in his personal space again, starts calling him a piece of shit for drinking. And she takes the first liquor bottle and misses him by like the hair on his chin. Then she throws a handle bottle, which a lot of people have been like, what's a handle bottle? So a handle bottle is typically glass, okay? They make cheaper liquor that's like plastic jugs, but if it's a handle bottle, it's almost always glass. Jose Cuervo makes handle bottles. Like there's a bunch of different, liquor companies that make handle bottles, and they have a handle on them, and it's like thick ass glass, okay? She throws it and it takes off the tip of Johnny's fucking thumb. And he's driven to this place mentally that his first instinct is to take his severed finger and write what just happened in blood on the walls. Where must you be for that to happen? And listen, I believe that she was threatening him from a very early point. Like, because even his sister and friend said, like, we saw him a lot less often once he and her got serious. Like, he stayed, they always refer to the lofts all the time, or the penthouses, the penthouse suites. They refer to them a lot in this trial. Once they were together, like, we saw them a lot less often. I wonder, was he already being, you know, swindled even at that point? Like, if you go see your family, I'll say this. If you tell anyone about this, I'll do this. And then you also have this recorded conversation between the two where she full blown admits to hitting him, fully just admits it. And she's like, I did not punch you, Johnny. I hit you. Like, it's exhausting. It's literally like the circus for real. But at the end of the day, I think that we still have a lot left to hear. I do think that he should get justice because he tried before. So a lot of people didn't know this, but obviously he sued a magazine or paper company in England before for writing this story. It might have actually been no, because they said that they were talking about why he wasn't suing or going for defamation with Vanity Fair. It's just on Amber Heard, but he had went to and tried in England to sue a magazine company like years ago and lost. So I am glad that he is, I mean, surely to God, he's going to get some type of justice here. His name has been dragged through the mud for years. He's such a talented actor who's been in the game a long time. So fucking what? An actor did cocaine? Listen to me, skin to skin and bone to bone right now. There's not many famous people that you see that have not done cocaine. Matter of fact, it's a lot more rare to probably see someone on TV that has not tried cocaine rather than to see someone that has done cocaine. Okay? Just saying. It's going to be very rare to find someone famous that has not tried cocaine. And also, again, I'm going to say this, I've never met anyone who does cocaine and gets angry. Typically, it mellows you out, and either you want to like run around and clean your ass off, or you're just there to chill. You're just like chilling out, you know? So I think that there's still a lot left to be uncovered. I do, a lot of other conspiracy theorists have been saying, is this going on to cover up, everything else going on in the world? Because for those people who want to say, oh, well, there's nothing that serious going on in the world right now, open your eyes. If you even want to purchase a house, and listen, a lot of people come to Tennessee to purchase like their dream home for like a smaller amount. Okay. Used to, you could do that. You can't no more. Spoiler alert, me and Chris have been looking, and the basic average house is close to $300,000 in the state of Tennessee. And anything less than like 295,000, you're about to be putting thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in on renovations. Not to mention cost of goods. So if you've been to the grocery store, I'm sure you've seen the difference in your grocery tab. For example, those little banquet complete little dinners. Dolly, no ma'am. Uh, Chris loves those. He likes to take them for lunch. They used to be $1.94. They are now 4.29. 4.29 for one. Not to mention gas, okay? In Tennessee, in the state of Tennessee, which we've been the lowest just based off of other people that I've spoken to that are subscribed to me that live in different parts of the country or even anywhere else. We've been at the lowest almost. I think Kentucky is the only one who's maybe been a little bit cheaper than us on gas. Today we went back up in gas. So today we are at 4.19 a gallon for regular gas in the state of Tennessee, and we are at 5.89 a gallon for diesel in the state of Tennessee. Um, I don't know if because a lot of conspiracy theorists say that, like the day Wendy Williams fainted on national TV, matter of fact, the exact date and time that Wendy Williams fainted on TV is the exact same day of a terrorist shooting in New York. Matter of fact, I believe it was like to the second that happened. Um, so a lot of also another one. What was it with Kim Kardashian? I can't remember, but something happened with Kim Kardashian the exact same moment, and it was going everywhere, all over the internet, the same day as the Las Vegas shooting. A lot of people say that there are also conspiracy theorists. If you indulge in this at all, you can find all of this information that I'm saying. A lot of people also say that Britney Spears was paid by the Bush Foundation to act that way during all of that, to hide from what was going on in the White House. She was also one of the only famous people at that time to say, "Yes, I trust George Bush and I like George Bush." So I don't know if I necessarily believe that one because I don't know. I've just researched Britney a lot, and I don't know that I believe that, but there are a lot of conspiracy theorists who do. So I don't know if this whole trial is because a lot of conspiracy theorists say that the reason that this trial is going on at all is to just get all of us to take our eyes off of what's happening in our country and focus more on, oh, look at Amber Heard and Johnny Depp in court today. Like everybody's saying that. Every conspiracy theorist is saying that. Um, so just remember while you do indulge in all of this shit that's going on, keep an eye on the reality of things. Which moves me on to my next topic, which um, I'm not going to get too deep on simply because I have my own beliefs on it and I've kept those personal because I know a lot of people don't agree with my beliefs. That's fine. You don't have to. They're mine. That's why I say they're my beliefs. But I did not want to get this vaccine. I'm going to make that upfront and clear. Number one, my mother. The day that she got her first vaccine, she within minutes got cellulitis in her arm to the point to where her arm was the size of a watermelon. It looked like it was about to pop. Number two, my grandmommy, the day that she got her second dose of the vaccine, within, I think, 24 hours, she was rushed to the hospital and was hospitalized for almost 2 weeks and had COVID. Also know someone else, the exact day that they got their COVID vaccine, they were so ill they had to be wheelchaired out of their doctor's office where they received their vaccine into the car and then got COVID, I believe like a week to the day or a little more than a week after they got the vaccine and were bedridden. Had the vaccine, had COVID so long, they've now been diagnosed with long-term COVID. So I was petrified to get this vaccine. However, in the state of Tennessee, almost any job where you can make enough money to live, okay, you are required to have the vaccine. Matter of fact, even Domino's is requiring that if you don't have the vaccine, either you have to wear a mask all day, which I'm sorry, but wearing a mask and working sounds like a jail sentence to me. I would much rather not, okay? Or just you don't have a job then, okay? So this company, I've wanted to work for them for a long time. It's very, very hard to get on there. Very hard. If you're familiar with Tennessee, especially the Oak Ridge area, and you know what Oak Ridge, Tennessee is known for, then you probably know where I was offered a job. Okay. It's very hard to get a job there, almost impossible. But they are requiring the vaccine. So I had gotten it months ago and I felt so bad after it. I just never went and got the booster. When it was time for me to get the booster, I think was in January, February, something like that. And I just never went and got it because I was like, fuck it. No, I don't want to feel like that on purpose. I don't want to purposefully make myself feel that way. Like, who wants to do that? So I just didn't. And then um, got this job offer and was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to get the booster so that they can put all that info on my card or whatever. And I have felt like shit since yesterday, which is when I got it. I got it yesterday. And when I got it at first, the only real symptom that I had, and the doctor let me leave, was a little bit of shortness of breath. That was it. Of course, my arm was sore, which is like a given with this shit. It feels like someone is just like when you go to lift your arm, it feels like, which now it's pretty much gone now. Um, but it feels like someone's just like fucked you up in the arm. Okay. Um, Going into last night was rough, real rough. I'm talking like sick. And my plan was to film last night. Um, that didn't happen. I was so sick that was just not happening. This morning went to work and I mean so dizzy, so nauseous. I mean throwing up every 2, 3 minutes, so bad. It's just the side effects of these booster shots are, I would say, for Pfizer anyway, I can't speak for anything else. My booster shot was like the symptoms, the side effects of the regular vaccine times 10. I mean, that shit fucked me up today. But I'm now fully vaccinated, so I have it for them for this new job, which, whatever, man. Whatever, bro. Anyways, you guys, I think that's all I'm gonna talk about tonight. My mouth is getting super dry and I'm just still real tired. That's the biggest side effect that I got from not only the vaccine but also the booster shot was just being super sleepy, fatigue for days, and nausea. Those are the two that hit me the worst. But anyways, yeah, those are my basic thoughts on the Amber Heard Johnny Depp situation. But I'm gonna do like a full in-depth video on it. Also, if you would like to support the channel, my Cash App and my PayPal are linked below every single video. It's not underneath this one just because I'm doing this live on my phone and it won't let me like do anything. But you can go to a past video if you would like to support the channel. I love you guys and have a great rest of your night. Bye.